Well, senior week here, the team's wrapping up its home slate, that is, with another week after that on the road. This is Holly Franks, a senior right-sided hitter from Toll House, California. And we're going back through kind of like the careers of these players, even to the very start here. So take us back to the start, when you played volleyball, what age, and what really kind of clubs you played with.
Well, I started in 6th grade. I was not very good. I played middle blocker when I first started, just because I was tall. And then going up into high school, I played middle blocker again, and then I got switched to setter, and then I played right side. And then also all growing up, I played basketball and I ran track as well.
So what events in track did you do?
I did quite a bit. They just kind of threw me in whatever. My main events were high jump and the 100 hurdles, but there were a couple meets where I'd like throw shot put or do something else that they needed me to do.
But you didn't compete in the team's high jump competition there a few weeks back in Wyoming.
No, I missed it. I'm so sad. I was getting taped and no one came and told me, but it's okay.
So if you walked in like the track right now and tried to high jump, how high could you go right now?
I could probably go like 5'4",
Yeah.
maybe.
That's pretty good though. You might score at the conference meet.
Yeah, I'd have to really, stretch and work out the kinks first. But.
Yeah, that's awesome. So what basically was the difference for you to choose volleyball over the sports?
Well, all growing up, Cal Poly was like the school that I wanted to go to. My brother went there. A lot of my family lives in San Luis Obispo, and I went to a camp there. And I had never played club before. I was actually playing club basketball at the time, and I just went to their camp between basketball tournaments, and they were like, "We want you to be on our team. Like, we want to recruit you." And I was a sophomore in high school, and I was just like, I don't know what I'm doing. And so that's when I started playing club. So I played club my junior and senior year of high school, and then they offered me my scholarship my junior year.
So you had a chance also to play those other sports though in other colleges. What other schools offered you in track and basketball?
Cal Poly also offered me for basketball, and then a couple of schools were looking at me for track as well, but volleyball just came first, and I just took it and ran with it.
So fast forward a couple of years now, there's a coaching change at Cal Poly, and you have a chance to kind of start over from scratch, and Fresno State, has an opportunity here. How did that kind of come about?
Well, it kind of just, the opportunity kind of just fell into my lap, really. After playing for 3 years at Cal Poly and redshirting 1 year, I kind of just needed a change, and I started looking at different schools, and nothing was really like looking like the right fit for me until I started like really researching Fresno State, and I was like, wow, like this program like really is an ideal program for me, and so I contacted Lauren and kind of went from there.
I mean, you guys have had a unique relationship right now, I'm sure, at least what I've seen on the road here the past few months here. What are some of your fondest memories of like working with her and like, the way you guys kind of go back and forth with each other?
Oh, well, me and Lauren, she's a gal pal, We have a pretty unique relationship, especially like only really knowing each other for like 10 months really. I mean, she is awesome. I've never had a coach where I could be on like a personal like friend relationship with, and that's really nice to have, because you build that trust, and like that is very important, I think, for any player to have with their coach. And she's just really understanding and funny, and it works well with my personality as well. So we joke back and forth a lot, and we just have a good time.
Do you take stuff from her though, as far as like how maybe you're going to eventually be a wife or a mother or have like a full-time job, those kind of things she teaches you while you're still a student?
She definitely, like seeing her with her son like that, like seeing how she interacts with him. And I've seen like a lot of parents and with their kids, and like seeing her with her son and like her interacting with us, I see a lot of like the same traits. Like she basically treats us the same as her son, which is nice, because it's like a home away from home, and she is always always on us about doing the right thing and like being a good person and a good citizen. And I mean, instilling those traits in her athletes, I think, is what every coach should do.
Well, you've had a great season for us. You know, you're walking through the door to a whole new system and a whole new offense and new setters a couple of times this year. You've had a chance to be ranked top 7 in the conference in points, and you ranked 2nd this week in the conference in aces there. So what adjustments have you had to make to be a player in this system?
I've definitely had to improve on hitting higher balls. Like every offense I've been in before this has been like a lot of quicker sets, and I was very limited by those quicker sets to hitting in one area of the court every time, and that was very easy to stop, obviously, in past years. But here, like, having those higher sets for me is perfect because I can move the ball around and I can really, like, utilize my ability to jump, and it just works a lot better for me. It definitely is a better fit.
I know serving-wise, you kind of adjusted things as the season has gone on. What are you doing now? What did you do when you started the season?
Well, I started the season topspin serving, and then I broke my finger, and so having a cast on my hand couldn't really control the ball that well. So I started jump floating again, and with the jump float, I've really instead of the topspin where I just throw it up there and just hit it as hard as I can and see if the aces happen. But with the jump float, I definitely have to think more strategically because I can't rely on my strength or my athleticism to get those aces.
I know also post kills or aces, or you have a chance to do a little bit of a celebration dance. What are some of your favorite ones you've developed this year?
I've developed the knee slide to the slapping the floor with my hand. That one's fun. I used to just point straight up in the air and walk off the court, or walk off to the middle of the court. And then it's just kind of developed. I developed one of these. That one's pretty fun. But the knee slide into the middle and then slapping the floor, that one's my favorite.
Do you have any interactive ones with teammates? They have the 2-person, 3-person type moves?
Well, me and Corinne chest bump. We chest bump. And then, what else? I think that's the only person that I do something really fun with. Me and Marissa attempted chest bumping, but she can't handle it. She's too fragile.
Yeah, well, that's good. I mean, you have to make sure your teammates have unique different skills for their celebrating styles. So
yeah,
it's all individual. Now, off the court, you're one of the more unique majors there is with the philosophy major. Talk about how you picked that and kind of what some of your favorite classes are.
Well, it's kind of an interesting thing how I got stuck with philosophy. Well, not stuck necessarily, but got put into the major. I've changed my major 4 times. I'm very indecisive. I started out as a kinesiology major, then I switched to philosophy, then I switched to recreation, and then when I transferred here, most of my units went towards philosophy. So I switched back again to philosophy. I really like the major because of its ability to teach you how to think. It's very, it really teaches you how to articulate yourself and really put the words in the correct way to get your point across to people. And I mean, I write a lot of papers. And that's pretty time consuming as well. But the books we read, my favorite is ancient philosophy and all the Plato, Socrates, Descartes. I love reading their material and all of their ancient theories. And right now I'm actually writing a paper on Plato's philosophy of the soul. And it's so interesting to me to think what he thought then and how it applies to neurological science today. It's just fascinating to me.
So basically his soul is today's mind, kind of what you're saying?
Yeah, soul, mind, yeah. It's basically the same thing.
Do you have a basic kind of creed or motto for life do you use that you take from the class, any classes?
A lot of the ancient philosophers talk about being a just person and being a person that does the right thing for the people and for the self. And I think that's like what I've learned the most from these classes, because every philosopher you read about, basic, like they all touch on that subject, and it's always the same thing, like serve your people, be the best person you can be. And I think everyone should obviously abide by those theories.
Being a diverse person, I'm sure you also have some other classes that are your favorites too. Talk about some of those.
Well, my favorite class that I've ever taken is floral design. Floral design, yes. Which is kind of funny because I'm a philosophy major, and obviously that does not go together. But I always say this thing. I go, I'm left-handed, I'm creative. When I do something like creative or something, people will be like, "Oh, Holly," and I'll be like, "I'm left-handed." And so I am a very creative person, and I took this class and I was just like, I love this. Like, this is fun. And just making floral arrangements and like doing all these fun things with like actual like live plants, like living things. It was so fun to me, and getting to create my own things. It was like a lot different than like writing my own paper or like doing an assignment or a project. It was so much hands-on stuff, and you learn so much about plants and about like color schemes and all that stuff. And it was very interesting, and I loved it.
So any favorite plants or flowers that you jump off your tongue there?
Well, I really liked working with lilies, but my favorite flower is a white rose. So I don't know why, it just is.
So is that your dream job, to be like a ranger or basically a botanist or something like that?
I'm not sure. I'm not quite sure what I want to do with, I mean, obviously having a degree in philosophy doesn't lead you to floral design, but I would love to get into something like that, something creative, something dealing with people. But we'll see where the wind takes me, I guess.
Well, you've had a great season so far. You know, you've been a new face here at the court. You've had 3 all-tournament honors this year, and also an all-tourney MVP at the Irvine tournament. So, any favorite memories you've had so far as a Bulldog?
Winning the Irvine tournament, that was amazing. I mean, that I've only won one other tournament in my entire college career, and that was just, it meant so much to me, mainly because we lost a game in that tournament, and that we played not our best volleyball. And then coming back and beating Irvine and winning the tournament, it showed so much passion from our team. And this team, I've never played with girls who have so much desire to win and so much want to get better. And it's amazing. Like, I love playing with them every second of every day.
I think also like the chemistry is there off the court too. Talk about some of like your favorite moments, either buses or hotel rooms or whatever.
Well, there's so many. I think one of my first favorite memories was when we went to Disneyland last spring, and on every ride we would hide from each other and just scare each other, and it was fun because I was new and like I was getting to know everyone, and it was just so much fun. And like we were at Disneyland, we were just being kids, and it was great. And then this past weekend we had a dance party on the bus, and that was really fun too. And there's so many, like it's so hard to just pick and choose, but I definitely have fun with this team.
So talk about some of the people you want to thank, whether it be family or friends or former coaches or teammates.
I definitely want to thank my parents. Like, when I told them I wanted to transfer, they were very supportive. They helped me every way they could. And I mean, a lot of parents would have been like, no, stay, like you have to stick it out. But I'm not a quitter personally. So it was very difficult for me, and they were behind me 110%. And then definitely Lauren, like I would not be here without her. She made it happen for me. She barely knew me. She only knew me from when I was in high school, and like one of the girls that was on the club team, the local club team. And like, I mean, doing all that she did for me to get me here, and we were basically strangers to each other, and I can't thank her enough for how much she's done for me and all that she. They were.
There's all your friends right there. Yeah.
And I just can't thank them enough. She, not they.
Yeah.
I can't thank her enough for everything she's done. I will forever be grateful for her.
Is there any things you're gonna miss here as far as just the locker room or just certain things in the daily routine?
Well, I'm gonna miss playing in the same art center.
Yeah.
I mean, this place is awesome. I've never played in a venue like this ever, and I'm just gonna miss like the atmosphere, the chemistry of the team, and like having coach there and having all my teammates there every day. It's gonna be interesting starting my life as we call them muggles, as normal people.
Well, you've done a great job here this first season and your last season, but
Personally.
regardless, it's going to be sad to see you go there. The team this week wraps up its home slate, takes on Wyoming on Thursday at 7 o'clock, and number 10, Colorado State. That's on Saturday at 11 a.m., 2 hours earlier than originally scheduled for the 1 o'clock football game to help kind of make sure that it works out. You also might have a special appearance at the football game, too, so we'll look forward to seeing you out there, too. So go Dogs.
Go Dogs.